What's good, everybody? This your boy Mike coming to you with another awesome episode of Reality Warpers. All right, so today I wanted to speak about intent. Okay, so uh, when you get on a spiritual path and you start going on spiritual journeys and stuff, you would run into a lot of spiritual people that does a lot of practices that isn't practiced very often in religious settings. So like for example, and when I say religious settings, I mean Christian churches or Catholic churches or any other religion, or whatever that don't practice certain tactics, or whatever. But so for example, things like burning sage or burning oils or or using chakra stones or speaking about chakras, things, such as that. Now, yes, for people that are very in tune with the Bible, they do mention things such as burning sage and midnight oils and different things like that, and using holy oil and holy water and stuff like that. But a lot of times is not like shown as a practice in the actual religious settings. Okay, so because of that though, a lot of times when people speak about different practices or terms used in spirituality, a religious person would feel some kind of way about it, you know. Um, no, just giving an example. My mother, beautiful woman, very smart, very intelligent woman, um, open-minded and very artistic, creative, just a very amazing woman. And one day, me and her was just having a conversation. I grew up in a religious household, a Christian household, and she's been in church her whole life. Parents was pastors and all kinds of preachers and stuff throughout the family, etc., etc. So one day I told her that I was burning sage, and she got kind of iffy about it, and we had just a brief conversation, and then she had a moment where she realized her mother, my grandmother, used to burn sage as well, and then she was like, "Well, I guess it's okay, you know." And I thought about it, and I was like, you know something? My mother's been in the church, her whole life and stuff. But and this nothing against her, of course, But my mother's been in the church her whole life. But when I spoke about something, a spiritual tool, it was almost like, you know, rejected in a way, until she realized someone very close, near and dear to her did the same thing. So it made me think about other religious minded people and how they feel about other spiritual tools such as chakras, meditation, different sayings and stuff that's mentioned in spirituality, and what, etc., etc. Which brings me to the topic of this video, which again is intent. If you have ever heard about law of attraction or power of the mind or whatever, especially if you've seen my videos speaking about the power of the mind, until you understand how powerful the mind is, law of attraction or prayer is not going to work for you. Even in the Bible, it speaks about the level of your belief. You can't just say something and not mean it. You have to actually believe what you are asking for, that or what you are saying. You have to believe that it's already done. You have to believe that it's already accomplished. It's already set in stone for you. That is the same as the law of attraction, which at the end of the day comes down to the intent of what you want to happen to you, okay, or for you. So when we burn sage, the intent is for protection or cleansing of our area, which of course should not be looked at as something bad. The only thing about it that's looked at as bad is because it's a different method used than what's usually taught, which the usual method is prayer. If you go to church or something like that, pray, go to God, speak to God about it, leave it in God's hands. God got you, don't worry about it, don't stress about it, give it to God through prayer, right? God put us here on earth not for us to not be able to do anything without him. That is why he gave us the power to do what we need to do in order to keep what he put here for us in order. He gave us his God-like power through the power of the mind and creation. When I say there are certain things that are or phrases that are said in the spiritual community that the religious community do not agree with, I mean things such as saying that we are gods. It may not have actually said it in words in the Bible, but we all know the Bible is a book of metaphors. In the Bible, it says that we would do miracles greater than he, meaning Jesus, at the time that he was the one that was speaking this parable. Think about this. If Jesus is God, Jesus, Holy Ghost, the Holy Trinity, all one though. If Jesus told us in his book that we were going to create the same miracles as he and even greater, what does that mean? I mean, just think about that. If we was to do what he does that not make us a god? He said that our miracles would be greater. Does that not make us gods? Not saying that we are greater than he. The only reason our miracles would be greater is because of the technology that grows over time. Think about it. Back then when they had certain diseases and sicknesses and stuff going on. A lot of times they didn't have doctors that knew about certain medicines and different practices and different surgeries to solve different medical problems back then, right? Over time, through research and growth, they learn what tools to use, what different methods and stuff to use to solve whatever problem. That's why we got better at the miracles that he created, bringing people back to life. Did that on a more consistent basis. He did the same, but we do that on a more consistent basis now through the medicines and equipment that we have. No, our medicines and stuff might not bring you back after 3 days, you know, whatever. But what you get what I'm saying. Like, you was in a position where your heart and your brain was gone, but they brought you back through shock or through the whatever the medicine is they put in your chest. What is it? Is it adrenaline? I think it's like adrenaline that they shoot in you. But put in your chest, boom, you back. Like, yo, those are miracles. Those are miracles. But the fact that we do it so frequently, or we have seen it done so frequently now, where it's not looked at, like, it's not registered like that to us unless it happens to us, right? Okay. Now let's get, like, back on this. The power of intent again comes through what is your purpose in doing what you are doing with whatever tool or whatever saying that you are using at the time. So again, if I was to burn sage or something, the intent of burning this sage is to protect or cleanse my area of negative, bad energy, spirits, whatever. It's to cleanse. It's not, it's witchcraft and all that kind of stuff. But let's think back on this. Let's say it was witchcraft. I know we have all seen movies or TV shows where there was a good witch, there was a bad witch. They both cast spells, they both said different charms and all that kind of stuff like that. But one of them had good intentions, one of them had bad intentions. So would we say that the witch that was using spells and saying different things, whatever, would we consider them a bad person just because they're a witch? If they used their abilities for good, would we still consider them bad just because they're different? Just because they do something different than what we was taught? So just something for you to think about, to put in the back of your mind, whatever. But another thing is chakra stones. You know what? You can't tell me that you don't know, or there's nothing that you can do right now to get rich or to have wealth or finances and stuff. A guy sold pet rocks way back in the day, like actual rocks to keep in your a rock to keep in your pocket, and it was called pet rock. This guy became a millionaire off of selling people rocks. And you be like, well, what? Well, that was back in the day. They didn't have a lot of entertainment, and all that kind of stuff. So it was something, different at the time. Years later, they still do it now. They sell chakra stones, and it's $1 million industry. How many times have you been in the different, like, chakra stone shops or spiritual shops or whatever, you see different stones and stuff, and some of these stones are like $200, bro. Some of them even more, depending on how big it is and what kind of rock it is. These people are still selling rocks and still are millionaires. But the intent behind each rock that they sell, each rock have its own meaning behind it, what's it used for, the properties, all of that, right? It can be just a rock, but the fact that the intent behind this rock is that it does something for your mind. That's where the mind and whatever you are using at the time connects. With you, in your mind, if I was to pick up this stone here and I was to tell you that this stone is a lucky stone, every time you have it in your pocket, you will have at least one lucky thing happen to you throughout that day. Okay. People that have very powerful imaginations, they truly believe that. And the thing is, it's not the stone. It's you thinking that that's what the stone is doing, is what draws that attraction. Therefore, making the law of attraction actually work for you. Okay? So it's not when you're speaking about law of attraction, when you're talking about chakra stones and stuff like that, and when you're talking about sages or any other spiritual, tool, it's the intent behind whatever that subject is. Whatever that phrase is, whatever that object is, it's the intent behind it. When you say we are gods, the intent behind that is not for you to think you're all high and mighty. The intent behind that is not for you to think you are higher than God or better than God or just as good as God. That's not the intent behind that phrase. The intent behind that phrase is to let you know that you don't have to just sit and wait for something to drop in your lap. You have the power on the inside of you to create your own reality with His help. His meaning God, Allah, the universe. It all means the same thing. Again, the intent behind it. What does the intent behind whatever that phrase is? That's what the power comes from. The intent. Okay? So, when you go on this spiritual journey and stuff, you're going to hear a lot of things. Make sure you understand what the intent of that person used. Do your research. What it has been the intent of people that have used this slogan or used this spiritual tool years ago. What was their intent when they was using it? And that way you will understand, okay, I can use this item or I can use this phrase to further assist me in my spiritual growth. That's what all spiritual tools is supposed to be, including the church. The church is a spiritual tool. Why you say it's a tool, Mike? What you mean by that? Let's say there's someone that was going to church. their entire life, from the ages of being a child. They done got Christian as a child and all of that kind of stuff, and they've been going to church 30 years, 40 years. If that person stops going to church 1 year and something randomly happened to that person, and that person dies, passes away or whatever, if their heart was right with God or in the right places, do you feel that person is going to heaven or hell just because they didn't go to church for a year? No. If the answer was no, then that means the church is not, I'm not going to say not needed, but it's not how you get to heaven. If you get my drift of what I'm saying. It's something that can be used to help assist you get to heaven. So like, let's say if you was building a house, you building a spiritual house, and there's different spiritual tools to be used. The church is the hammer. Are you going to use a hammer for every single thing in that house to build that house? Or are you going to use a hammer for something? You're going to use a drill for this thing. You're going to use a pressure washer for this thing. You get what I'm saying? That's what I mean by spiritual tools. There are different things set throughout the world that are meant to be tools for you to become conscious or Christ-like. At the end of the day, the goal of spirituality, religion, at the end of the day, the goal is to become Christ-like or enlightened or awakened. That is the end goal, for you to understand what's going on. And by you understanding what's going on, you understand what your purpose is in life, to continue to assist the human race in growth, whether that's spiritually, mentally, financially, like economy wise, whatever, community wise, whatever. You understand what your purpose is to help grow humanity. Okay? Listen, guys. I love what I've been doing with this channel. I've been speaking to a few people that have ran into my channel. I know it's still a relatively small channel. I haven't really been promoting it like that because I'm not a guy that likes a lot of attention on me like that, and I know that a lot of this information would cause a lot of attention like that, so I really haven't been promoting it. But that's all gonna change very, very soon, because me and a group of several mentors have decided to join together and create a sort of spiritual school, and it's called Wiser Reality. And we are planning to launch at sometime the end of this year, which is June. We're in June right now, so we're planning to launch sometimes around the end of this year. And what this school is going to present for people is someone that's looking for more spiritual knowledge, a spiritual growth. They're trying to find a purpose in their life. They want to change their reality. They're tired of living in, the type of reality they're in right now. They're uncomfortable. They're ready to move. They're ready to understand who they are and what their purpose is in this life. And it's just a place where you get knowledge, growth, love, um, mentorship, and a lot more, you know, a lot more giving, whatever. We understand that, and when I say we, I mean me and the other mentors. We all understand that we have been placed here in life, and we have a purpose to help assist the growth of the human race. And we are trying to play our part, whether that's separate or together. Right now, we have decided to come together and combine our teachings, our learnings, what we all have gathered throughout life, young, older, doesn't matter, if you have that knowledge, that hunger to want to do better, want to be better, want to be somebody, uh, then this is definitely the program for you. Um, I will leave my email contact information in the description, so you can email me and let me know, this is actually something that I've actually been looking for, and it sounds like a great idea, whatever. Man, just bear with me, and I will definitely get back with you and keep you updated on our launch date and when things will be kicking off. It will be a subscription class, so it will be something that you have to show your commitment, whatever. And this is all a part of understanding how to change your reality or warp your reality. I made a video speaking about routines and persistence. You definitely need to check out that video. But in order to change something, you cannot do it for a day or two and think that it is going to change. You have to be consistent, you have to be persistent. And that is what this program is going to help assist you in doing, along with the me and the other mentors that have combined together to make this amazing class, this amazing school, this amazing program. Like I said, I will leave my email contact in the descriptions below. You can message me and let me know that you're interested, and I will keep you posted. All right, guys, this have been another awesome episode of Reality Warpers. Y'all keep in contact. Keep checking out my videos. I'm gonna be doing a lot of big things coming up very, very soon, and I'm very excited. And I really, really want you guys to be a part of that. Without you all, none of this would be possible. But I understand that I have been placed here to help any and everybody that's willing to, listen to me. I know I'm a young guy, and all of that, but God doesn't discriminate on age. God doesn't discriminate on race, So this knowledge can be uploaded into anyone at any point of time if they're willing to be a vessel. Okay? So if you're willing to be a vessel, if you are trying to learn, if you are trying to be better, this is definitely the space for you. All right, guys and girls. So again, this has been another awesome episode of Reality Warpers. Y'all stick with me and catch me next time.